Well, I'm hoping these books that I'm reading for you is really becoming helpful. You're starting to really understand um, the the practices and that, like doing the work to start moving yourself into the fifth dimension reality. Because there's a lot going on the planet that can be very distractive and disruptive and can create fears and that. And knowing these things may really benefit and help you further on down the road. Because sometimes we learn things, but we don't start practicing it for a while. Hey, Kyla. Hey, Danny. Doing good this morning. I'm supposed to be wearing royal blue, but I decided to wear this blue. Today is royal blue. So for Monday, that color, because the color vibrates, it creates an energetic energy. So if you're using colors in your meditation, it allows your energy to open, expand. Hey, Nam. And these spirits, they connect with you because they're seeing you wearing that color. They know you want to do these things. Good morning, Angela B. So today we're going to start on chapter 4. And I'm going to try to move through it pretty quickly because I have to do a clearing at noon. And then I have another one later this afternoon. So I'm going to try to finish by 12, before 12, so I can get ready to plug in with this person and do what I need to do. So today, the fourth chakra, fourth ray. This is Serapis Bay, Lord Serapis Bay. And the fourth ray is the Ascension Flame of purification. So this is the one that helps you to purify. So it helps to burn up and get rid of things. The main God qualities and actions of the fourth ray is purity, wholeness, Christ consciousness, becoming God through the consciousness of the Divine Mother. So when you're doing this, you're bringing that higher conscious truth, energy, and things in. We'll get to the meditation in the back, and if you're using the colors and you're prepared, you can sit as I read, and you can allow these spirits and other things to come in and help you. So the corresponding chakra is the base of the spine, so right down in the bottom of the spine, and that's where the corresponding chakra, that's the fourth ray. The color is white. The corresponding stone is azurite or snow quartz. The Kohan of that ray is Lord Serapis Bey. His retreat is the Great Hall Ascension in the Temple of Luxor, Egypt. Archangel of the fourth ray and divine complement is Gabriel and Hope. Retreat between Sacramento and Mount Shasta in California, USA. The Elohim of the fourth ray and divine complement are Purity and Astrea, Astrea, and their retreat is near the Gulf of Archangel in Russia. So when you're meditating and praying, you can ask to go to these places and be helped by these beings. And it can really help you knowing that the fourth ray is the base chakra and it's white. So now I'll start reading because I want to get done before noon. Hi, Marinda. Hello, Pamela, Renz, Christy, Inner Light, hello. So, about Lord Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey is a Kohan of the fourth ray, guardian of the Ascension Flame. He is a disciplinary, known through the centuries for this strict discipline. Real discipline is not control over another or to thwart innate progress. So because some people, they want to control you and they want to manipulate you and that. It's not about that. Real discipline, but instead it holds in check the human qualities to allow the real self to have an expression. That's real discipline, to allow this higher divine truth to come through and really allow it to express itself. This is essential for the attainment of ascension, which is the culmination of all embodiments. He is devoted to the perfection of the soul through compassion, patience, understanding, and self-discipline. And most people are not patient. Most people have no time for compassion or patience. And that is really against you. I can say I've had to be patient for over 60 years. I've known things since I was a little child, and I've been aware of a lot of things, and I've had to be compassionate towards people, and I had to be very understanding and self-disciplined because I put myself through lots by doing sun dancing, by going to Buddhist temples, by doing a lot of things. It was my own self-discipline. Nobody told me to. I searched it out. I did it. I studied. I did whatever I needed for me, not for anybody else. He assists all who call upon him in the development of the intuitive and creative faculties of the heart. So if you need help with the heart and the intuitive and the faculties, he's one of them that can help. Lord Serapis Bey can be called upon to open your eyes to the beauty of God's creation. He assists all who call upon him in expressing their most heartfelt creative aspects. So this is where he can come in and open you up to these really, really bigger part of yourself that sometimes you're not really fully aware of. Embodiment of Lord Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey was embodied as a high priest in the Ascension Temple in Atlantis more than 11,500 years ago. He is the one who brought the Ascension Flame from Atlantis to Egypt just prior to the destruction of the continent. Serapis Bey spent many lifetimes along the Nile as the Egyptian pharaoh Amenhotep III from 1417 to 1379 BC. He was called the Magnificent. He brought Egypt to its height of diplomatic prestige, prosperity, and peace. His extensive buildings of monuments, palaces, and temples include constructions of the Temple of Luxor. His most familiar incarnation is Leonidas, king of Sparta, the great warrior who led the Spartans in the famous battle of Thermopylae. I don't know how to say this word correctly. Thermopylae, a place in Greece. And Serapis Bey ascended around 400 BC. The Temple of Luxor in the land of Egypt along the banks of the Nile, there exists the focus of the Great White Brotherhood dedicated to preserving the cosmic flame of ascension. The Ascension Temple at Luxor sustains the pulsation of the Ascension Flame in the atmosphere of Earth. So this is in the fourth and fifth dimension. The Ascension Temple in Luxor sustains the pulsation and Ascension Flame in the atmosphere of the Earth. Thus, the human race, who awaken in each century with the desire to complete the cycle of incarnation, become the responsibilities of the Ascension Brotherhood. Their service to life is to create the opportunity of necessary initiates for the neophytes who come to Luxor to qualify their ascension. Serapis Bey, Lord of Love, explains that Luxor provides the opportunity for spiritual development. The Ascension Flame at Luxor and the one generated in Telos both hold the same frequencies and are available for people of the earth. This flame is alterized freely by the nature kingdom utilized, I'll just say freely by the nature kingdom in the resurrection each successive season of the spring. So they use this to birth spring and, help the whole planet. From Lord Serapis Bey, the candidates for ascension must meet 7 major initiations. The candidate must successfully pass through the discipleship of the 7 great temples. I am embodied disciple, says Serapis Bey. For centuries, most people have feared the discipline. I am dedicated to seeing that you pass through the fire of purification, and that you who desire the opportunity of gaining your ascension might preserve until the day of that victory. Angels of the Ascension Temple gather all the praise, adoration, songs, devotions, and blessings sent upwards by individuals in congregational or individual worship. These energies created by the devotional practices are carefully woven into every widening spiritual streams of energy. Each new soul who attains ascension status makes it easier for the next life stream to avail itself of the fully gathered cosmic momentum of those who have gone before. First, the candidate must learn to control and transform all thoughts and feelings that are not aligned with their divine self. This is the initiation of mastery of the first temple, the temple of God's will that the hopeful and the brave must pass. The candidate must learn to commune with his own God presence and to develop within himself true humility before it. And this is where you got to learn to humble yourself before all of these things. Good morning, Kate, Native Pride. And so these things, like I say, the candidate must learn to control and transform all thoughts and feelings that are not aligned with the divine self. This is the initiation of masters of the first temple, the temple of God's will that the hopeful and brave must pass. The candidate must learn to commune with his own God presence and to develop himself within himself true humility before it. Within this first temple, under the direction of Master El Moira and his assistants, the aspirant is assisted in dissolving rebellion, because we all rebel against everything. We always fight all kinds of things. We always create stories to be paranoid, afraid, thinking silly, going off our path, arguing with our angels and our higher selves and everything else. We're always in that kind of thing. And you got to humble yourself when these teachers and that come. When you connect with this higher truth of yourself, you have to humble yourself. You can't command it and pretend you're Harry Potter waving a wand around. You have to listen and learn how to work with this. And this is something I try to repeat over and over to people. Okay, so we rebel against discipline. Rebellion took Lucifer from the heart of heaven. The rebellion against discipline and self-correction is a barrier to real spiritual progress. Within the discipline of the good night's sleep, abstinence from tobacco, alcohol, and recreational drugs, you ease your pathway to your glorious freedom. Those who do not wish to accept those disciplines have not yet the stimulus to become the best, to be the highest or the greatest expression of the God incarnate. So a lot of people would just choose to do drugs and party and do all these things instead of really honor their bodies and become this ascended, incarnated God like Jesus and everybody else did, all kinds of masters. It is and has been our birthright since we were born on this planet. Good morning and hello to everybody that's joining. The second thing is those who have successfully passed the initiation of the first temple are taken to the second temple, known as the Temple of Learning, under the guidance of Lord Lanto, Master Kathumi, and the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe. And this is where the golden ones, when I was a child, they would come to me. So the Brotherhood of the Golden Robes, they are given instructions in the law. And this is where you have to go to get instructed. And you have to follow all the rules. You can't say, no, I'm just going to do whatever I want. It doesn't work that way. They are giving instructions in the law. Here they develop understandings of the law of cause and effect and all other universal laws. And that's why they say there's universal laws you have to respect. And you can't say they aren't this and that. Like I say, karma is not to fear. Karma is a teacher. And if you're doing wrong and you know that, somewhere it's going to come back on you. That's karma, because you keep doing it, it's going to do something negative to you until you go, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. Then you learn how to correct it, balance it out, and then you move past that karma. That's part of the teaching tool. That's part of time. That's part of reincarnating many bodies and many lessons. Here they develop understandings of the law of cause and effect and all other universal laws. It is a pleasant and happy time of sowing seeds, of breathing life upon these seeds and bringing in the harvest of work. It is a time when the artist develops his skill and musicians develop dexterity in his musical accomplishments, and the teacher becomes eloquent in conveying knowledge to his students. And this is where I try to figure out how to teach. Very cool, Oracle Alchemy. Just allow yourself to ground. The third one, those who have successfully passed the initiation of the second temple are taken to the third temple, the temple of love, under the great protection and guidance of the beloved Paul the Venetian. Here the neophytes must learn the discipline of unconditional love and harmony of their own life stream. So you got to learn how to love yourself. And for all of other forms of life. They are placed in living quarters with those who have within themselves tendencies which are particularly aggravating to others. So this is where sometimes you attract people to piss you off. So it can teach you to change those things, and you're challenged to try to stay in compassion and love and healing and understandings to help people. This is where the numbers of neophytes dwindle, and with great feelings of relief, many candidates rush to the door and leave us. So when you're taken there, you'll get lots of challenges to understand love, compassion, and these things, and you'll attract people to frustrate and piss you off. To live peacefully with one's fellow men in one of the greatest tests of the ascended state. Although the graciousness and the beauty and the kindliness of the great masters are so astonishing as to melt the heart of stone, the disciple he requires in learning tolerance, compassion, and understanding is such that few survive. Most people just choose to stay on the wheel of karma. They don't want to go past that. The fourth one, from the third temple, the initiate moves into the fourth temple, the temple of Ascension. This is the first personal contact with Serapis Bey has with the neophyte. For the first time, the candidate must draw forth enough purity to see his I am present. So your oversoul, you have to see it and know it. And his Christ self face to face. That's where you see the divine real you, the ancient soul, the real who you are. In the initiation, the master himself will stand within the aura of the initiate, presenting many negative imbalances which still exist within the inner body. This is when the candidate will hear many voices, and only true discrimination, prayer, selflessness, and humanity can discern the voice of the silence. It is the time when self is shown the tricks of the ego and subtle appearance. The aspirant must apply himself to purify all past negative human creation and transform them into pure white light radiance. And that's what you got to do to move through the fourth to get into the fifth. So you got to clean up all your past karma. You got to clean up everything. It's really important. And that's what we're in right now. That's why we have so much challenges and hardships. And there's many, many things that will challenge us. And we got to keep trying to go higher in this light. Hey, Morning Star. Hey, Sugerg. So, like I say, that's the fourth temple you have to go into. And that's where you get tested. And that goes on like in our lives, and that when we're in these kinds of things, we have many, many, many kinds of challenges. And you got to purify and cleanse and release all of that. Fifth, after passing the initiation of the fourth temple, the disciple is ready for the discipline of the fifth temple, the temple of consecration. It is then that the garment of consecration is placed upon them. And this is where God says, In the end times, he'll give you new garments. In the Bible, it says this. And you will have these new garments, these new armor, these new shields. And it says, it is then the garment of consecration is placed upon them. Golden sandals on their feet and silken robes on their bodies. Master Hilarion or beloved Raphael perform the service of consecration where all body systems are consecrated to purity and ascension. Then consecrations are given of the hands into which the flame of healing is infused, and of the feet which become the anchor of the sacred fire wherever the body moves. Consecration of the lips take place to speak the sacred words which invoke the commands, that manifestation and perceptions and healing powers. This is what Jesus was given. He went through that, where he could heal and do anything. And when he spoke, he just spoke and everybody understood. And it was very, very powerful. Consecration of the energies of the eye enable the disciple to see perfection and to call it forth. This completes the ceremony. Then the sixth one. The aspirant is then taken to the sixth temple, the temple of service, where he is expected to temporarily put aside his worldly pursuits to be in service to others and to become his brother's keeper. He is also expected to volunteer some of his time to planetary service for the benefit of mankind. That's where I say you got to teach. You got to get out of this, oh, they're so negative, oh, they're this and that. I'm like, you got to get out of that childishness. Like, everybody's got to become teachers. I go where there's really lots of negativity and I just do everything. I'm always doing that. And they get me to go to lots of places to help people all the time. Like I said, when I was in my 20s, I lived down on Skid Row in Edmonton. And I used to have to walk through all these places. And I would pray and I would talk and I would go and do healing circles and all kinds of other stuff. And I lived in Skid Row and I was surrounded by all kinds of craziness. And I would try to help people all the time. He is also expected to volunteer some of his time to planetary service for the benefit of mankind, not just himself and his family. He must learn to include the rest of humanity in his heart, becoming fully aware the needs of others also affect the needs of many. In the sixth temple, under the sponsorship of Lord Sananda, with his beloved twin flame Nada, also known as Jesus and Mary Magdalena, the aspirant is trained to nurture and serve all aspects of life and becoming a ministering servant. And this is where the universe is asking, but nobody wants to. Hey, everybody's doing all kinds of foolishness. And I'm like, why did you learn everything? Why are you hiding? Why are you doing stupid things? Why are you not going out there and trying to help people? Before the candidate for ascension can become a master, he must learn the disciplines of the humble servant, selfless service, true brotherhood, the obedience to the hierarchy. Those spending almost their entire lives in the service of some activity or organization to assist and enhance the consciousness of the collective are usually sixth level initiates. And this is where I spent my whole life, trying to help natives, trying to help people from all kinds of cultures. Ever since I was a little boy, I've wanted knowledge to help. Not about me. It's not about, oh, look at me, I'm the movie star. Oh, I'm a cosmic, universal being. I'm just a person. I'm just Joe. And I'm always asking God to serve. And wherever I need to be, I show up and I do the best I can. And that's where I stay grounded. I don't try to be blissed out and stoned on energy, and I don't pretend, I'm floating in the air and doing all kinds of silly things. I don't spend hours and hours and hours of meditating or trying to be in some altered state. That's not what it's about. That's crap. I see people doing it all the time, and I'm like, you're wasting your time. You're just putting on a freak show. You're just a carnival. You're a circus. Grow up. Those spending almost their entire life in service to some activity or organization to assist and enhance the consciousness of the collective are usually 6th level initiates. In the past, too often, Cerebus Bay saw many of you leave Luxor ready to set the world on fire, only to recede back as you went down the steps of the great temple. This is where a great number of you lost your opportunity for ascension in many incarnations. The 7th one, after the aspirant passes the initiation of the first 6 temples, he is ready to enter the 7th temple, the temple of the violet fire, where every atom, cell, and electron of his being becomes completely purified by the actions of the violet flame under the sponsorship of the Master Saint Germain. The candidate becomes like a window through which the God light flows with absolute purity. The physical body will give you the greatest possible ease and grace within the law of harmony. If you refrain from taking into the physical body those substances which change its natural vibratory action, disconnecting it from the harmony of the spheres of divine love, when the candidate is ready to fully eternalize the will of God and the preparation begin to initiate the final phase of the graduation ceremony of ascension, then all is in place for the candidate to become an ascended master. Do you see? Blessings from the heart of Luxor. And you got to go through these 7 phases. You can't miss them. And there's teachers there watching you. And if you're not doing it right, you won't pass. They're not going to feel sorry for you. They're going to wait for you to go back onto the wheel of karma. Then in 100,000 lifetimes or 100,000 years or 1,000,000 lifetimes, they'll bring you back to see if you want to now move up in this way. But like I say, they can't move you there until you're done with every negative thing. And some souls still got thousands of lifetimes to play in the darkness. And it's not evil and it's not wrong. It's just a whole process of evolution. And this is where people put too much on things. Transmission from the heart of Lord Serapis Bey, the Lord of Love. Beloved brothers and sisters of earth, with the great love of my heart, I send each one of you who reads this material the blessing of Luxor and of Telos. Realize, beloved ones, that never in the history of the earth has the opportunity for humanity to attain the freedom of their glorious ascension been offered with so much ease and grace in this wondrous time of preparation for the planet's ascension. And this is where anybody says that the earth is staying in the 3D dimension and it's going to go on, walk away from it. Don't have nothing to do with them. The earth is going to move into the 5th dimension. Her energy is at 7 hertz. She's going to go up to 11. And if you don't move yourself up in those energies to get to 11, you're going to stay in that reincarnation cycle. But they're going to move you to other planets and other places to learn and grow through all of that. When you're ready, they will help you to go up into the higher. But every soul has a journey, and nobody has a right to tell that person if it is or it isn't. And this is where I just allow people to carry on doing whatever it is they believe they need to. And they'll figure it out for themselves. So realize, beloved ones, that never in history the earth has the opportunity for humans to attain the freedom of the glorious ascension been offered with so much ease and grace in this wondrous time of preparation for the planet's ascension. This exceptional window of opportunity is presented to those of humanity who wish to gain their spiritual freedom and who are willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. I will do anything to be in the 5th dimension. I ain't wasting my time playing silly games with people standing around humming and saying, oh, I'm doing 560 hertz, I'm in the 5th dimension. I'm like, don't play that game. Don't waste your time with that. I went to meditation groups and things where people did all that silliness, and I just watch them. I'm like, but you're still here. You're not in the 5th dimension. Why do you try to make people believe that? An exceptional window of opportunity is presented to those of humanity who wish to gain their spiritual freedom and who are willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. I am proclaiming that it will be an entirely easy for everyone. My promise to you is that I and a large team of Ascension brothers of Luxor and Telos stand ready to support and coach with much love and compassion those who will seriously commit to their evolution. Yes, many of you will face temporary challenges from time to time, but if you face them with surrender, devotion, joy, enthusiasm, the attitude of gratitude for the exceptional opportunity offered to you at this time, be assured that the rest of your path does not have to be difficult. It all has to do with the perception and reaction you feel regarding what presents itself in your life as an opportunity to align past karma and integrate the lessons you need to learn in order to become an ascended master. Though the initiates are basically the same for everyone, they manifest in different ways for each life stream according to the unique pathway and one's own level of initiation and evolution. So your knowledge and everything is really important. That's why I'm like, fill your mind with all the right things. Work with it, do something. And this holographic machine is powerful when you put all the right things there. Know, beloved ones, that once you have made a serious commitment to your ascension, all heaven is at your beck and call to assist you in the most wondrous way. In former times, ascension was extremely difficult to attain. With new dispensations now given to humanity by your Creator, the pathway basically remains the same, but now you have so much more assistance available to you and so much more information that those in the past did not have access to. Luxor and Telos are waiting for your return. Most of you have come to both places many times, but many of you left fearing that it would be too difficult, and you are still here on the surface of the earth, often in pain and despair. Realize that the temporary difficulties on the path are so much easier to hear than the lifetimes of pain and struggle you experience once you embrace the illusion that you could not do it. In fact, I say to all of you that if you are really serious about ascending in this life, and if you apply all the laws of love with absolute consistency and perseverance, you can do it. With our help and with the help of your I Am presence and your higher mental body, nothing is impossible. In fact, it is not only possible, but most desirable for your evolution that you do not stay behind in the third dimension very long after the earth ascension. This is my promise to you that we will match your efforts in assisting each one of you. We love you all very dearly, and our dedication to assist you is so absolute. Once you discover the real truth about ascension, you will no longer hesitate and let go of the outmoded lifestyles you have accepted as normal and prepare yourself to live as a true child of God. On behalf of those of the Ascension Brotherhood of Luxor who serve with me in the holy purpose of holding the sacred energies of the Ascension Flame, we send to all of you who read our words of wisdom our deepest love and mantle of peace. I am Serapis Bey from the Ascension Temple of Luxor. So this is what the base root chakra looks like. This is the flower. And that's right at the base. Yeah, what a time to be alive. It's like there's all kinds of cool things that can go on. So I'm going to go into this next part. I'm just trying to see how many pages here because I'll take a break at 11. So it's about 24 pages. And this prayer for the fourth ray healing, it says the prayer for personal ascension. In the name of my beloved God Presence I Am, I ask to receive the initiations needed to qualify for ascension. I call for the great cosmic shaft of cosmic purity flame to remove from my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, and my body, and all subtle bodies, every vibration of human creation that is impure in substance and less than my divine perfection in God. Then it says, may the flame of purity transmute from my world all remaining negative energies. May the love of Christ expand me through the power of the Ascension Flame. May the resurrection flame awaken the memory of my divine blueprint, so that I can be free forever from all discord that I have ever created. I affirm that I am purity in action. I am God purity established within the mind, body, and soul. Let me also invoke purity for every part of life on earth. Let me invoke purity of for my family, my friends, and for the whole family of God, all kingdoms and the earth. And so it is, beloved I am. And Ramtha, when you read Ramtha stuff, it always talks about the beloved I am, and you're talking to yourself because you have that energy of God. And they say it's your oversoul, your higher self. You have a little piece of it here, but the bigger part is out here. And you have to honor and respect that. You can't tell it what to do. People do that. They open up their third eyes and they do yoga and they force things and they try to bully and push it around. They try to prove people all kinds of stuff. It's like I don't. I just try to be just Joe. If I'm meant to channel, if I'm meant to do something for you, it just comes in. Whatever your angels need, whatever things need to go on, it just shows up. I just do it. Then I just move on. And I never really try to tell people what to do. It's like, go ahead and do whatever you want. It's your journey, it's your life. And like I say, once you understand this, you want to do things in the right way. And that's why I try to teach and help people. I try to search and find things to help others, because there was a lot of challenges I had to go through, and it wasn't easy. And I had a lot of bad people show up in my life. I even had elders who treated me really, really bad. And I'm like, I didn't come here to be treated like some sort of dog or whatever. And if I want to help you, I'm going to choose to do it. And if you think you're going to treat me this way, I don't need you in my life. All I got to do is ask God for the answers for whatever I need. I don't need to put up with your ignorance. And this is where I go places and I try to connect with people, and then they want to be superior or all-knowing or say they're masters and stuff. I'm like, be whatever you want. And if I choose, I'm going to stay around and help you. If not, I'm moving on. But like I say, we all have journeys and paths. It's all important to understand. And knowledge is one of the biggest things because it removes fear. It removes all kinds of stuff. So the discourse from Adam with Serapis Bey. Peace and love from the heart of Lemuria. This is Adam with the Kohan of the fourth ray, the beloved Serapis Bey. I bring you the blessings of my light and the victory that lies within. We are bidding you our most heartfelt welcome. Today we wish to talk about the Ascension Flame and a most wondrous action of the sacred fire that can facilitate your pathway to your goal of ascension. When you possess a more specific understandings of how to consciously use this glorious flame of purification, you can accelerate the cleansing process of all your chakras. And that's what we're trying to do. And that's why you need to clear. That's why you need to find healers. That's why you have to find people that are really in this higher energy. And people go to Reiki masters, they go to all kinds of people that don't have knowledge and other kinds of things. They don't even know what they're doing for people. And this is where you want to find the right kind of people to do this. And these things are really important. It's like, if you're going to go to a person, they can't just unzip you, pull things out and throw them here and there, and then just let you leave. They have to zip you back up and make sure there's only good energy when you leave. And whatever is dark and negative is cleaned up and gone. But I've watched Reiki masters take people's energy and dump it all over and pull things out of people that they didn't know, and just send the person out wide open, not zipped up, not no good energy, no anything, and that person just leaves. Somebody else comes over, they unzip them, and all that bad energy goes into that person, and then things get dumped out of them. They leave, the next person comes in, and that person becomes a garbage dump, and they just keep recycling everybody's garbage into the next. And all people are like, ooh, I'm going to do all these things. I'm like, for what? If you're going into singing bowl ceremonies and cacao and that, and you're sitting with 50, 60 people, at some point your energy is going to open up, and you might be sitting next to a really bad person, and you're opening up and you're going higher and higher and higher, and you're sucking all that bad energy into you. When you're over and you drop and you leave, you could be taking all kinds of garbage. When you go to sweat lodges, if the person is not cleaning and smudging and doing everything and getting each person to smudge before you go to into the sweat lodge, and do prayers and stuff like that, and at the end do things so everybody is protected, then you're going to become a garbage dump, because everybody that's been to that sweat lodge is dumping their garbage, and you could get really, really sick. Like I say, there's lots and lots of things to understand. And everybody in the new age is like, oh, there's light language over here. I'm just going to run over here. You don't know anything. But people want to jump in and out of these things. And it's like going into a swimming pool full with every kind of slimy, dark thing. And every time you dive in there, you come out just covered in crap, and you think you're this shining, glowing angel. And you're just carrying all kinds of putrid stuff. And then things go bad in your life, and you think it's this negative thing, that negative thing, and all kinds. But it's like wherever you're going, your chakras are opening, and you're taking things in, and you want to hug everybody, and people want to go around and just hug people. And I'm like, once you do that, you're switching energies. And a lot of people out there know this. If you got really good energy, they show up all the time and they will hug you. You're going to feel your energy drop, and when they leave, you're going to feel really awful. Why are you letting them hug you? Why are you even wasting your time to go there? You work really hard to get really, really good energy. Now, why are you just turning yourself into a garbage dump? People do this all the time. That's why you got to let these beings take care of you. You got to ask them to clean your energy. You got to ask for a lot of things. I do that all the time because I got to go to a lot of places. Sometimes it's not very nice where I got to go. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got to be in this for a couple of days. When I leave, I got to do all kinds of things to get the universe to fix my energy, Cindy's energy, and whatever else. And this is where I pay attention to these things. So I'm going to read just a little bit more, then I'm going to break, and I'm going to let Cindy come in and talk with you guys while I refresh my tea, go to the washroom, breathe a little bit, and then I come back and try to finish off this part of the fourth ray. So today we wish to talk about the Ascension Flame, the most wondrous action of the sacred fires that can facilitate your pathway to your goal of ascension. When you possess a more specific understanding how to consciously use the glorious flame of purification, you can accelerate the cleansing process of all your chakras and activate your DNA and prepare the cells of your various bodies for a physical ascension. This is magnificent, my friends, to say the least. Lord Serapis Bey came today with his team of masters who have specialized in that service. They are known as the Ascension Brotherhood of Luxor. These masters extend to you now the elixir of their heart's love through the purifying fires of the Ascension Flame. Breathe this in, my beloved. This is a gift to you. These dedicated beings have worked closely with our Brotherhood Serapists for several centuries, planning the evolution of the human race for the time that has finally come. Their service to life consists of the engagement of their energies in preparing for the lifting of our planet and the consciousness of humanity for planetary ascension in the years to come. The Ascension Temple of Luxor sustains the pulsation of the Ascension Flame in the atmosphere of the Earth, as does our Ascension Temples in Telos. Visualize two temples unite in consciousness, in the energy, blessing and loving daily and hourly everything on earth for the benefit of ascending humanity. With each successive spring season, the sacred flame is freely and widely utilized by the beings of the nature kingdom to assist the renewal and resurrection of the beauty of nature. Each soul on earth desiring to complete their cycle of incarnation by the process of ascension is placed under the tutelage of the Ascension Brotherhood and of the office of the Christ. A couple of hundred years ago, a great portion of the activities and records that this pyramid held for so long in Luxor was either transferred or duplicated in Telos. The relocation of records was implemented then because the spiritual hierarchy of the planet could foresee future potential problems in that area of the globe. The records of the energies that the sacred focus could not be compromised in the event of the original or global cataclysms that were on the horizon then. So now Telos has become the main focus of ascension for this planet in total union and cooperation of the Great Master of Luxor. We all work together in perfect harmony for the benefits of the collective. This is one of the fifth dimensional protocols. The decision was made with the records of this important planetary focus would be safer underground, the best guarded in the original purity and sacredness, nurtured and honored by a large number of ascended beings such as those of us in Telos. Although it may seem that there are now two main ascension focuses on the planet, I say that for us it is only one. In the dimension where we function, time and space, as most of you understand it, does not exist, and all is one. After this sinking of Atlantis and Lemuria, the surface population have continued to war against each other until this day. Keep the hope of your courage, my beloved. Know that it will not be tolerated much longer, and this consciousness will soon come to an end and be healed. And that's where we're coming to. There's one final war, and it's in the Bible. It's called the War of Armageddon. And after that, we will never ever kill one another or do these stupid things again. Life is sacred. In Telos, soon after the destruction of both continents, we volunteered the task of keeping the flame of ascension on behalf of mankind as our service to this planet in order to ensure its continuity. And for the love of our hearts, we extend to you this day our opportunity to embrace and expand this wondrous flame within your heart for your own ascension. We say that the heart ascends first, then the rest follows. And that's where your heart has become a sacred temple. And you can't pretend there's no such thing. And this is where you got to ask for teachings, guidance, help. And you got to do it while you're asleep, while you're awake. You got to do things. And you got to do the work. And these things are going to really, really shift and change. Like I say, understanding this stuff, it's like if you really want to be a part of the fifth dimension, it's like you have to do the work. And there's a lot of things to do. Like I say, it's got to cleanse all of your chakras. And you're looking at millions of lives. And how we stayed in this for a very long time and trying to shift and go up higher. So welcome to all the new people that are joining. And I'm really, really hoping that all these things are going to make a lot of sense and really, really help you. So I'm going to start reading because I need to try to be done by 12 o'clock. And I have about 20 pages to read, so I'll try to focus on reading and getting all of this reading done. So we're going to Ariella asking Adam questions again. So Ariella, will a large percentage of humanity ascend? And Adam says, it is not yet known how many people will ascend with the planet. We perceive potentials of a few million to 7 billion people on the planet, but this number is subject to change any time according to individual and collective choice. We often hear those calling themselves light workers say that by a certain time, all humanity will ascend to the fifth dimension unconditionally. That's not a truth. And that no one will be left behind. And we say back to you, not so. No one will be left behind ultimately, but everyone must do their own inner work first and evolve their consciousness before being invited to the Great Hall of Ascension. Although there is greater assistance offered to humanity than ever before on Earth's history, and the ascension process is made easier than ever before, none of you will be lifted into the ascension process until you have met all requirements and reach this frequency in your consciousness, no matter how long it takes in cycles of time. That's why I'm like, time and karma are the teachers. And if you're not willing to do the work and heal, just know you're going to stay there until you're ready, and they will keep offering every so often. They'll come and see if you want to do this. But nobody's going to force you, not even God. God doesn't care if it takes you another 10 billion years. It's your choice. Although there is greater assistance, okay, I read that one. It will be required for those aspiring for ascension and to heal and transform all your erroneous beliefs. We have lots of bullshit beliefs. We need to get cleaned up. And embrace love, harmlessness, and the truth of your divinity. Realize that the ascension cycle on this planet we're close to it, but simply a wondrous beginning. So once we go into the fifth dimension, like I say, we're going to live long periods of time. I'd like to live 1,000,000 years and look back in 1,000,000 years and go, wow, see what I have learned. What can I do? The full planetary process for the Earth in the completion of her full glory and destiny is a 2,000-year plan. And that's when Jesus came in 2,300 years ago. He came in to start all of this. And we're getting closer to that point where we're ready to move to this other reality we've been waiting a long time for. The Earth herself making her ascension in the light along with those who have met all the necessary requirements. All souls incarnated on Earth will continue their evolution and ascend only when they are ready at the soul level. For some it may take 6 months, others 5 or 8 years, and for many it will be longer. You'll also need to engage yourself seriously in the initiation process leading to ascension. Each one's journey is unique, and though the initiate's process is similar for everyone, it unfolds differently for each soul according to their own distinctive pathway. It is true that everyone without exception is offered the opportunity for ascension at this time, but not everyone is choosing it. Those beloved souls who choose to continue to experience separation or are not yet ready for the evolutionary step will be given the opportunity to continue their evolution at their own pace somewhere else. The grace of ascension will be offered to them again at some later time when they request it. In time, everyone will return to the frequency of love of the heart of the Creator. In this way, no one will be left behind. That's why you can't tell somebody if they're evil, if it's right or wrong or anything. They're on their own journey. It's not yours. You're not the judge. Ariella, Adam, would you give us a description of this flame? Adam, this flame contains a frequency of colors of all the other flames you see or experience it as a brilliant, luminous, white dazzling light that consumes on contact all that is less than the perfection of love. Its power and brilliance are limitless, sustaining worlds in perfect harmony and beauty. Those invoking and working with it must prepare for change. You have to change. You can't hold on to the way you think it is. You have to allow everything to change and transform. Once touched by the flame, you are never the same again. Everyone can work with it, of course, but in its full intensity, it holds the capacity to completely transform the initiate who has reached the doorway of ascension. When you are finally ready to take this leap in your evolution, you'll be immersed in the frequency of that magnificent energy. It will propel you into the final step when the fire of that love will consume all human limitations. Your full consciousness will be restored and all your bodies will align and unite. You will then be invited to join the immortals as the ascended master. You will step into the glorious spiritual freedom and consciously reconnect with your creator and with all that exists within your heart. This, my friend, uh, this is, my friends, how powerful the Ascension Flame is. Ariella, how can we consciously reach and maintain this level of frequency? Adam, this information has been given to people on the earth again, but it has been ignored. At this age, it is given again through a wide variety of writings and channelings. It has been presented to you simply in so many packages and colors that you fail to recognize it. Unless a teaching and a key wisdom is learned thoroughly and integrated through the heart, it remains just information and clutters in your mind soon forgotten. Ultimately, it does not advance the evolution of your consciousness. We know people who have read hundreds of spiritual books. They have acquired mental knowledge. But when this knowledge is not integrated to the body, their divinity, spiritual progress remains marginal. That's why you have to integrate. You have to actually work with it. You have to actually do things with it. You can't just talk about it. Allow me to mention to you differently again, repeating what has been said before, in the hopes that if repeated often enough, it will eventually sink in. And this is where I repeat things over and over. And I know sometimes people get tired of that. So allow me to mention briefly again, repeating what has been said before, in the hopes that if repeated often enough, it will eventually sink in. Ascension does not require the doing of so many things, but is all about becoming, embracing, and remembering to live your lives as gods and goddesses that you are. It means fully embracing the divinity that already exists within you through the expansion of your consciousness as beings of love, living from the wisdom of the heart. And the heart knows everything. The mind will mess it up and play games. It is that simple, my beloved. If you become this, you do not need anything else. All this already exists and lives within you. I remind you that there is nothing outside the self. Then it says, here are some of the main points or guidelines to be understood and considered about initiate's path leading to your graduation from Earth's curriculum through the Ascension protocols. First one, the process is one of complete purification and healing of all that is hindering your transfiguration, resurrection, and ascension into the arms of God/love. The restoration of your dignity and memories, so that you live once again as divine children of your Heavenly Father, Creator, entering the world of oneness. Next one, understand that each dimension represents a certain frequency. The fifth dimension becomes accessible to you when and only when you have attained that frequency in your consciousness and have the ability to maintain it at all times. And that's why you can't just stay in a meditation or bliss out. It's not the way to do it. There's an energy that comes in that's always there day and night. Next one. Live from the heart, talking and acting like a master would as a way of being. Always ask yourself the question, what would a master do or say in this or that situation? Then go within and find the answer. If it is not clear, take a piece of paper and pen, light a candle if you wish, and set your intention to find the answer inside of you. The master within is awake and alert at all times, forever waiting for your recognition. Let go of the third dimensional consciousness of separation, duality, polarity, drama, in all of its myriads of forms. Stop believing in two powers and give your power and your precious energy to the illusion of this 3D density. Allow yourself to set aside all that you learned so far that has not given you the results you are yearning for. Be ready and willing to learn anew and have the courage to step into the unknown reality of love and magic. Recognize that love is the only true power there is and start living your life in the vibrational frequency from the inside out. Next one. Let go of all judgments and expectations about yourself and others and how life should be unfolding for you. Allow yourself to perceive and embrace all the wonders of majesty of you in the splendor of your divinity and accept your great adventure of letting it unfold and transform in front of your eyes in deep joy and gratitude. Next one. Embrace the banner of humility and sweet surrender to one's holy vows. If you don't know what they are written within every cell of your DNA as well as in many chambers of your sacred heart. Be willing to take the time to go within and investigate. That's why you need to go in, not out all over there playing silly games. Next, establish the conscious union with the I Am presence and the fulfillment of your divine plan. The ascension is the unification, the merging into divine union with your magnificent I Am presence. In order to embody this glorious aspect of yourself, it is an obvious requirement that you make yourself very familiar and intimate with that aspect of self you want to merge with. How can you expect to ascend and unify with the aspects of self if you have not spent time to know and understand? Like I say, we got to dig in our own garbage dumps. We got to go in ourselves and look at our teenagers. We got to look at our sexual dysfunction. We got to look at everything. We got to sit in our base chakra and see why we want to stay there in this 3D doing these silly things. When we ask people through channeling sessions what the ascension means to them, we are amazed at the answers we receive, such as changing dimensions. I hear people always, oh, I want to go to another dimension. Oh, I want to go to another world. Oh, I want to go to another galaxy. I'm like, why? You're here for a reason. Being able to manifest everything, not having to. So a lot of people just want to manifest. The Hubcap Master was really good at that. I tell stories about it. Not having to be limited by money anymore. A lot of people want that only. They just want lots of money so they could sit around on Mexican beach drinking Mai Tais, being alcoholics and drunk. Got no other time to do anything. Playing music and dancing around like a fool. Being able to teleport. Lots of people want to teleport. I'm like, for what? And so on. All those become the gifts and the result of ascension. They are not its primary purpose. You, your levels of understanding, your divinity and becoming, it brings it forth. So the more you become this, the more gifts and everything comes with it. And you have to do the work because it will show. Next, embrace the consciousness of harmlessness by honoring the sanctity of life, sharing this planet with you, and also the divine right of every person to live here as well. That's why you can't just open up anybody's chakras and do Reiki and anything you want to them. If you're going to do something to a person, tell them before you even try to do it. If you like using Reiki, tell them that before they enter your house or your car. If you're Reikiing those things, maybe they don't want it. So be really clear about things. Next one. Release old programmings running your life and all negative emotions stored in your consciousness, unconsciousness, and subconscious memory. That's why I say we got to deprogram everything. We have to do that. Including the balancing of all debts incurred towards life. You have already received many teachings on these topics. Next one. When individuals believe their debt to be light and they enter into the spirit of releasing it steadily into the sacred fires, they create a great release of joy that flow through their being. The feeling of joy within their consciousness has a tendency to create malleability in the coils of energy that keeps the records of debt, relaxed tension within the energetic coils, the freeing the individual to move on more quickly through all initiations with great ease and grace. Next one. The attitude that most assists the attitudes that most assist anyone to move through the balancing of their shadow creations are twofold. First, adopt as a way of life each moment of the day as an act of love for yourself, for your fellow men, for the planet, for other kingdoms sharing the planet with you, and in gratitude of creation itself. But secondly, practice the attitude of gratitude will assist you immensely. Next, nurture and expand the genuine desire of your ascension and immortality, because you have to believe in it, you have to choose it. Embracing the willingness to walk the path unto the ends unless you entertain a genuine desire for ascension and immortality, unless you are willing to shed the old ways of living in the third dimension that you kept you and humanity in pain, and walk the path shown to you by the masters of wisdom who have tread the way before you. You cannot become a true candidate for ascension on the inner planes. Then it says, in seeking ascension, the power of love must become the fervor and heat which will cause the elements of mortal creation to melt, which will propel the candidate for ascension into a great cosmic pool of immortal love and light. Message from Serapis Bay. For those calling themselves seekers of truth who yearn for contact with the higher light and the Great White Brotherhood, it requires that you come directly under the guidance and tutelage of the great master teachers. The path of mastery, achievement, freedom, victory, and ascension can only be gained through the initiating process. For all great masters who have ever ascended from this planet, or wherever the flame of ascension has already remained, a most important key which unlocks the door of immortality for every soul. I have guarded, guided, and stood within the Ascension Flame for a very long time, in order that there might be a way and a means by which humanity went through, with their folly of senses, could return to the divine state. Since the fallen man, if there had not been the guarding brotherhood of the Ascension Flame, there would be no way back home for humanity. You have ever pondered within the deepest recesses of your being what it would be like if there were no way back home. To this end, many of us have remained prisoners of love upon this temporary dark star. The Illuminary Brotherhood of Light of Telos join us in the vigil of ascension for the planet. Together we kept the flame of love and light on behalf of mankind for thousands of years, until such a day when you have acquired enough spiritual maturity to partake in its planetary responsibilities. I am dedicated to see that you pass through the fire of purification, that you who have applied for the opportunity of attaining the ascended status will remain firm and vigilant in the commitment until the glorious victory becomes your reality. We are heart friends of many ages. Then a quote from Lord Jesus Sananda. Knowing the supreme glory of that hour, I can but urge each dear child of God to prepare for the glorious moment when the hour comes and the summons from the Father of Light reaches your heart. You will also know the full and true purpose of human incarnations. It is to prepare your consciousness to become a son of light within yourself, free from the wheel of birth and death and the mastery of energy and vibration. Those interested in visiting the Ascension Temple of Luxor and Telos are requested to bring back in their consciousness that rising, buoyant, joyous energy, which is the activity of ascension. This flame will enter into the element substance of the inner body, as well as the physical form, and acts as a leaven in the loaf. When earnest invoked, as a pure white flame passes through the substance of the aspirant's body, physical, mental, emotional, and etheric, it quickens the vibratory action of the atom, each electron moving more rapidly around its own central pole. This causes the throwing off of the impure, discordant substance around the electron and quickens the rhythm of all the vehicles. To ascend to a state of self-mastery, God's wisdom, peace, and harmony, perfect health, limitless and ever-present supply, the candidates of the great gift of ascension must learn to rely totally upon the presence of God within the heart. The disciples and the Ascension Brotherhood are designed to turn the consciousness from the outer world inward until from within the heart center, the seed of your divinity there is drawn forth, and at will anything and everything which is required to manifest the fullness of your divine essence in physical manifestation. All must be purified and transformed through the ascension fire of the royal, dazzling, purifying flame. So we are at the meditation here, and I'll read that. So if whoever's ready, we will do the meditation, and then there's some more reading after that. So relax, close your eyes, whatever it is you want to do. Journey to the Ascension Flame in Telos with Adam and Lord Serapis Bey. Along with honorable guests here this evening, 12 members of the Ascension Brotherhood of Luxor, we are now inviting you to come with us on a journey of the Ascension Flame of Telos. If you desire this initiation, like a master, set your intentions in your heart with your higher self and guides to come along with us for this experience. A dazzling white Merkaba from the fifth dimension is now approaching to take into their etheric body those who choose to come. This intention, step into the vehicle of light and take your seat. We ask you to start preparing yourself by centering within, allowing yourself to feel and to perceive the buoyant and joyous energies of this flame already unfolding you. We ask that through this journey you breathe as deeply as you can in order to return as much of the energy of this flame to your outer awareness. This experience is another opportunity to ignite yourself to the next level of purification process for every cell, atom, and electron of your physical and subtle bodies. Since we are not very far away, we are already there. Open yourself to the experience of consciously as you can and enjoy. This temple is built of a huge, very tall, scintillating white light pyramid with 4 sides. If you have been to the one in Egypt, you will notice that it is not exactly the same, but similar in many ways. Of course, the fifth dimension aspects of those 2 ascension pyramids are much more glorious, elegant, and magnificent in nature than the outer one visible to your eyes in Egypt. The one in Telos does not have a third dimensional counterpart as at Luxor. Its power and beauty are stunning. Step off the Merkaba and follow us to the Hall of Ascension, where each one of you will be introduced to the Ascension Brotherhood guide, who will escort you during your experience here. Feel the air, the energy, the power and brilliance of the holy place. We also encourage you to pay attention to your guide and ask any questions you want clarity on. This is your experience, beloved ones. You create it in any way you wish. Our role is simply to accompany you with our love and wisdom. At times you are almost blinded by such brilliance, and this is good. You are now walking through the corridors of exquisite beauty leading to the atomic accelerator chamber. Continue filling your lungs and consciousness with the beauty and joy as you walk along. There are many beings who serve in this temple or are visiting here, who notice you and greet you with their smiles and gestures of friendship. All of them, in their own way, welcome you and send you their blessings. The halls of the temple are usually open only for those whose candidature for ascension has been accepted. The guardians of the atomic accelerator chamber bid you welcome, and you are now entering the great hall with your guide. What you see is a very large room that contains several hundred small, dazzling, white crystalline pyramids circling the main focus of the flame in the center of the room. You are almost overtaken by the wonder and magnificence of the immortal, unfed flame of ascension, burning bright in front of you, almost 200 feet tall, 100 feet in diameter at the base. Its power almost overwhelms you, and you know that once you have had The deep experience of this flame, you will never quite be the same again unless you consciously choose to return to your former level of resonance. In spite of its great rushing power, it does not emit any noise except the melodious sounds of music that is created by this energy field. Also notice that the sweet fragrance that facilitates the rising of the frequency emanating from the energies of the Ascension Flame. With your guide, you now walk around the base of the flame to fill yourself with all the spiritual gifts that you can receive here today. Your guide, who has already chosen one smaller pyramid for you, invites you to step in for your next experience. Each one of these small pyramids of light contain an atomic activator on which you sit comfortably and assist you in raising your vibration to the level that is comfortable for you. These accelerators have been designed in such a way that they can raise you to the ascension frequency and immortality, but this is not the goal of this experience. You're truly here to experience a little push to your next level that is different for each one. The level of acceleration each one receives is calibrated to their level of initiation and readiness on their pathway. As much as some of you would love to experience the full ascension at this time, you will not disappear. We guarantee you that you will return to your physical bodies in good shape and charged with a new and pure vibration in your auric field. It will be up to you from now on to use this experience to the best of your ability as another step forwards, to forget quickly that you have gained and maintained the status quo. We are only your facilitators. What is an atomic accelerator? For those of you not yet familiar with the acceptance of the Master Saint Germain, as spoken about in his challengings of the last century, let us describe it differently. He is one of the designers of this technology. The atomic accelerator does exactly what its name says. It is a crystalline seat or a chair designed by technology to create the frequency of the ascension flame for those sitting on it. Like many of your instruments, I possess a dial control, and you meditate on this flame and pour the love of your heart into it. You are infused by the guide with this frequency at the exact level you deserve, that serves you in this moment. Your guides already know the frequency that is best for you. They are well trained in applying it. This type of technology is not available yet in your dimension. It has the ability to transform into perfection every element that vibrates at a frequency less than the purest love essence of the Creator. One can really and symbolically say it has the ability to transform base metal into the purest gold. In other words, when time comes for you to make your ascension, it will transform your mortal body with all its imperfections and limitations into your immortal, deathless solar body of light with the majesty and splendor that comes with it. As you continue to sit on the seat assigned to you, keep breathing while communing with your divine essence and with your Creator. Set your goals of ascension for this life and upon your heart to your God, so your higher self, whatever. When you feel complete, look into the eyes of your guide and receive the love that he imprints to you through the eyes of his soul. Express your gratitude. When you feel ready, stand up and direct your consciousness to exit with your guide the chamber you are in and retrace your steps back to the Merkaba that brought you here. We are now taking you back to Ariel's home with the auric field and the heart filled, the new love, the new light vibrations back to your body. It is up to you to maintain and nurture and expand it. Now come back to full consciousness in your body and offer your gratitude to God for the opportunity and gift you have just received, and be blissful, joyous. We love you most profoundly, and this love accompanies you each day of your life. And there's a few pages he's talking about the atomic accelerator. So I'm going to read these as fast as I can so I can finish this. Greetings, beloved. It is Adam in Saint Germain. I would like to talk to you about the atomic accelerator that many of you already know as the Ascension chair, used on the inner planes for several purposes. There are many of you who have studied the teachings of the former dispensations with Saint Germain, where this concept has been mentioned several times, but may not be fully understood. Allow us to give you now a greater understanding of this wondrous tool, beloved ones, so that you can use it to assist yourself and others on your pathway to ascension. As I speak of the energy, Saint Germain is here with me, and it is both of us collectively now speaking to you, unifying our energies as one. In the light realm, there is such a unity of consciousness, we can blend our energies and thoughts easily. We enjoy this very much. The atomic accelerator, the Ascension chair, is a gift to the earth and humanity from the heart of the beloved Master Saint Germain. It is a tool to assist the rising of vibrations and candidate for ascension. It contains a frequency of pure white light in the Ascension Flame. It can also be used to raise one's vibration gradually and gently. When the dial is turned on full focus, it will literally lift someone into the vibration of the electrical body for full, instant, permanent ascension into the light realm, the fifth dimensional consciousness. In the past and now, many candidates on the inner planes, when ready for their earthly graduation, have received their full, majestic ascension ceremony in the light realm, honored and supported by a large gathering of masters and beings from many dimensions. By sitting on one of these chairs, when the button is turned to full force, all energy remaining in the records of the candidate, lesson, pure light, and pure love, are dissolved in the intensity of the ascension frequency. And this has to happen before you can go into the fifth dimension. The candidates are instantly transformed and reconnected with the fullness of divine essence, all spiritual gifts and attributes restored. It is the true and permanent ceremony of divine union, beloved. This is a great alchemy marriage with self that so many of you are longing for. Although this is not only a way one can make their ascension, there are indeed several other options. This is one of the most commonly used now. In order for one to receive this gift, one must definitely be spiritually ready at that level, or the result could be disastrous. You can trust that none of us would ever offer to do this with anyone who has not yet attained the full level of initiation required to receive such a blessing. There are a few of these chairs on this planet kept in various spiritual, fifth dimensional retreats of the Great White Brotherhood. We have one in Telos, and Saint Germain has one in the retreat in Jackson Peak, Wyoming. There's also one in the Himalayas and a few other retreats. The channel Ariella was directed by us several years ago to invite friends to her home once a month to conduct the ritual ascension ceremony for those desiring to deepen their commitment to this goal, to spiritual hierarchies of this planet, and to their I Am presence. Each time Ariella facilitated the ceremony with the group, a great number of us came to assist. Master Saint Germain always came with a portable atomic accelerator, which consists of a small etheric box which he positions under a chair in your dimension designed for the purpose. Each time Saint Germain himself controls the intensity and velocity of each candidate can receive in order to raise their vibration to the full level without significant discomfort and disturbance to the present level. This movable accelerator box is the same technology as the full version atomic accelerator chair in the light realm, but it is designed to be used for ceremonies performed in locations where surface people have chosen to do their ascension work. And this is something I think more and more like this will happen. Ariella has conducted this ascension ceremony in her home in Montana. She has continued this service on the planet, and she's not alive anymore, so she has performed this service of light and with every group that has come to Mount Shasta for initiate journey, and also has several other countries of the world during her travels abroad for conferences and workshops. So she traveled and she did this in different places on the planet. I have a few minutes. I don't think I'm going to finish this. So I'm going to stop here. I wanted to finish it, so I'll pick up here tomorrow. The benefits of the power of building momentum, and I'll read that tomorrow. And how to create your ceremonies. And then we'll finish that up. It's what? It's about 5 more pages. And then I'll start chapter 5. So we'll go into chapter 5 tomorrow. The 5th ray. And that is the flame of healing and manifestations. So that'll be tomorrow. And the made God quality and action of the 5th ray is healing on all levels, truth, constancy, creation through manifestation, God abundance through the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Corresponding chakra is the 3rd eye. The color is green, so green. Corresponding stones is emerald, jade, chrysoprase, and ruby zoite. The Kohan of the 5th ray is Master Hilarion. His retreat is in the Temple of Truth in Crete, Greece. Archangel of the 5th ray with divine complement is Raphael and Mother Mary. Their retreat is the Temple of Healing in Fatima, Portugal. And then the Elohim of the 5th ray with divine complement is Cyclopea and Virginia. Their retreat is in the Altain Range in China. Altain Range, China. And this is Master Hilarion. Now, it's Ariel on Saint Germain there. So benefits and the power of building momentum. We have noticed how wondrous, powerful, and beautiful the energies have become over the years. With each ritual, Ariella has facilitated adding energy to the sum total of all past ceremonies. With great interest and gratitude, we observe that after many years of regular practice of this ritual, the chalice of light now created with each ceremony is building a huge momentum. The energy almost doubled in intensity and the beauty each time the sacred ceremony is performed. It perfects and helps not only the people participating in the group, but creates a web of light touching almost the entire planet. Many of you are not making the progress on your spiritual journey as rapidly as you would like, or achieving the results you want in your mundane endeavors. This is mainly because you are not in the habit of creating enough momentum to achieve your goals. Building greater momentum is needed to gather enough energy in your world to create whatever you want. And then it says, even the beings portraying the shadow side understand this principle very well. They are far more vigilant in building their momentum of darkness than the people of light have been in building their momentum of light. And this is where people are really, really lazy. Yeah, today is color pink, so I bought this pink t-shirt a while ago and decided I'll wear it. And I got on pants that are sort of a pink color. So wearing the color pink today, because that's the color of the day in the 7 Sacred Flames. So in this, Saint Germain uses this atomic accelerator to speed up people's energy. And here it's talking about building momentum and how, like, focusing on the light, practicing these things will bring up your light and stuff like that. Your complacency is one of the main factors of the deep level of darkness, density, and pain this whole planet has fallen into. Momentum of light is what all those of us who have become masters have accumulated enough of in order to manifest whatever we want at any time we desire it. First in 94, when Ariella began her little ceremonies with 4 or 5 people, a chalice of light created with each ceremony was very small and not nearly as powerful as it is today. She continued to build her momentum year by year, doing ceremonies each time she had enough people interested. She was unaware of the expanding impact. With each ceremony, Saint Germain arrived with his etheric atomic accelerator box, invisible to those not yet clairvoyant, and put it beneath the chair designated and decorated for that purpose. In our realm, we consider it to be a physical box made of fifth dimensional technology and certain types of crystals. It has dials that can turn on and off just like the technology in your realm. When the group is ready, the invocation of intention is made by Ariella. Master Saint Germain turns the atomic accelerator. What does it do? All around and beneath the chair there is an emanation of ascension frequencies that begin radiating out. The person sitting on the chair receives according to his level of evolution and capacity to receive. The process is monitored carefully because the Ascension Flame energy emanating from the little box could literally make you become invisible quickly if turned on full blast. Be assured that until the time of full glory of your ascension is offered, you will receive safe increments each time these ceremonies are performed. As you evolve your conscious, the Ascension Flame helps your purification process in greater measures each time, assists in raising your vibration every time you set up your intention through this sacred ritual. It is so beautiful when you do this. If you could only see it from our perspective, as you gather together, you assist and hold energy for each other. Each person comes forth to sit on the chair to declare their intentions vocally before their friends and before their God to express their desire and intention for ascension. The candidate also declares the willingness to do whatever it takes to make this happen. As the candidate formulates a prayer, Master Saint Germain adjusts the dial of his accelerator to flood the force field with a level of ascension frequency appropriate for the person in the now moment. Each time you speak from the heart on the chair and set your intentions, you create an explosion of love and light that is most wondrous to behold. This is why when you hold these gatherings, there is always a large assembly of light beings from the many realms of this planet. Many other planets and star systems who delight in seeing what you are doing. They wish to witness this wondrous explosion of light created by members of surface humanity. They always add to your momentum of light their love and support and comfort. So that's where when you're doing spiritual things, there's lots of different kinds of beings and things come in. So carry on in the process. So all these beings from different parts of creation come in when you do these ceremonies. So how to create your ceremony? What you do is to gather in a circle. Each person comes forth to sit in the designated ascension chair and state their intention, preferably aloud with fully open heart, their goals for this life and their ascension. Make the most honorable prayer your heart can dictate or inspire you to do at this moment. Each person holds in his or her hand a special crystal provided by the facilitator and sits on a chair for about 3 to 5 minutes. When finished, he or she gives a sign of completion with the eyes, and the group sing 3 ums to assist anchoring the energy in the physical while the person remains seated. Prior to singing each the facilitator, his designated person, rings a Tibetan bell once. Then the person returns to his or her seat. The next person comes forth. People do not need to come in a specific order. There is always a natural flow created, and each one takes his or her turn when they feel ready. The facilitator also goes last, but this is not the rule. When everyone is finished, Saint Germain, Serapis Bey, and myself, Adam, invite you to drink an elixir, which we charge with the frequency of the golden liquid light. The facilitator pours sparkling apple juice or some other juice into a small container and distributes it to the group. The facilitator is someone else makes a short invocation to ask that the liquid each person holds in their right hand be infused with the frequency of the golden liquid light. The one making the invocation pause for a moment for the officiating masters to transform the liquid to the frequency that is most appropriate for each person. When given the signal, when given the signal, each person slowly drinks a liquid that has now become a sacred alchemy elixir, expressing their deep gratitude for the gift and the rich blessings that are bestowed upon them. The elixir created during ascension activations are just an effective way, the ones we give you on the inner planes. You heard or read in the I Am books around 1930 that David Lloyd drank the elixir given to him by Saint Germain on Mount Shasta. He immediately began to disappear and ascend into the realms of light in front of a crowd, creating much wonderment for each one present. Now, beloved ones, David Lloyd could have made this ascension differently, but it was a choice he made in the inner planes to ascend in this special manner, and it was granted. It happened this way for him because it was his time to ascend. We could also charge the elixir for you in such a way that you could disappear, but that's not the plan for right now. We are simply not going to do that even if you ask, not until it is your time. And believe us, several people have made that request. Sorry, friends, for those who have requested this, but it is imperative that you wait for your right timing. There will come a time in your future when a group ascension will manifest, and in some cases, it will happen in front of others who will witness this. This time is not far away. This will never take anyone who is ascended by surprise. If this happens to you, it is because you are totally prepared and have fully consented to this type of ascension. When you hold your gatherings with the atomic accelerator, Master Saint Germain always controls the exact amount of energy given to each one according to the level of vibration each person can handle. Some of you are hesitant or shy to speak your heart openly in front of your brothers and sisters. No, dear ones, in the light realm there is no secrets, everything is known. It is best that you start getting used to it now if you intend to come here. It will be easier later. Once you make it to higher dimensions, nothing can be hidden. It is a very good practice to be able to open your heart in front of your brothers and sisters and hold nothing back. There is no shame in what you are doing. It is so beautiful, it creates an explosion of light each time, and your light is amplified as you support each other, building a momentum of light on your journey to the stars. We invite you now to start meeting in groups of all sizes in your cities, village, countries, at least once a month as brothers and sisters to reinforce your desires and intentions for your spiritual growth. Allow a momentum to build with each ceremony and with each one's intention. Imagine how powerful this can be. What will you be doing is creating a little web of ascension light everywhere on the planet that will gain greater and greater momentum as more and more people do this. This momentum of light will gain greater power as the energies join together. It is a great momentum of light and ascension flame that is needed to propel this planet and all humanity choosing to ascend into a grating, swirling tornado of ascension light that will dissolve all darkness on this planet, fully restoring back every man, woman, and child to the dignity of their divinity. This is how darkness will be totally dispelled and swallowed up in a great victory of light. But you have to do your part in your dimension, beloved children of our heart. It will not simply happen automatically without your contribution and participation, or by wishing it to be so. We from Telos enjoy very much your ceremonies of love intentions. Be assured that I, Adam, Serapis Bey, and Master Saint Germain shall be with you every time you perform your ceremony, supporting and loving you all the way to your own victorious Ascension Day. Adam, do you want to comment or do you have any questions on this subject? Ariella, This is a most incredible offering for you to have given us. Getting groups together around the world and experiencing levels of ascension frequency through facilitating ascension ceremonies, taking in spiritual elixirs. You are offering us a permanent increase in frequency through this beautiful ritual. Is that correct? Adam, we are, and you can do it as often as you wish. It is up to you if you want to use this as a tool to assist yourself on your path. It is a tool whose energy simply build up, increase as you unite together. Many people want to ascend, but they often forget to set their intention, are not always willing to put in the effort necessary to attain the fullness of their spiritual freedom. In the time of Lemuria, we used to participate in ascension ceremonies weekly. Even the children participated with other children of their age group and enjoyed this very much. In fact, for most children, the permission to attend these ceremonies was considered a reward. They looked forwards to each week. When you get together and reinforce your intentions, it becomes more and more powerful in your life. These gatherings can be created as wonderful ways to spend time together with like minded people. You can even share a meal together afterwards if you wish. This is the Lemurian way to do things together very simply, without pomp and circumstance. Simply being the gods and goddesses that we are, we invite you to do and be the same. Take advantage of these tools and tools that help you raise your consciousness in very simple and pleasant ways. And so be it, beloved children of our hearts, be in peace, in love, with yourself. Soon you will meet, soon we will meet you face to face in the arms of love.